All right, alongside Carlo Koliakovo, Jamie McLennan, and Marty Biron. First time ever, by the way, for this quartet. It's one of those you'll remember exactly where you were moments.
Historic night.
Historic. For the first 20 minutes or so, the Oilers looked like they were poised to do what Vegas did to Dallas in round one and sweep two in the Stars building. And they had a chance to do so right till the end. But how did Dallas find its game and even up the series?
Well, they continued to chip away. And I thought that the Dallas Stars, yes, they were back on their heels in that first period, but Jake Oettinger was fantastic. They blocked some shots, and then they got their game going to the point where in the second period and pockets of the third period, it was the Edmonton Oilers that couldn't find the back of the net. But that third line for the Edmonton Oilers has been a mess for the first two games. Derek Ryan loses a physical battle along the wall, and Ryan McLeod can get into the lane here and force Ryan Suter to go around him, but instead he cheats and thinks it's going to go back down the wall, and Mason Marchment with a nice redirect in front. So that's the difference in the game for me. That third line for the Edmonton Oilers has to get sorted out, but great work by Marchment in front.
And when you evaluate this series for Edmonton, they got off to a great start in this series. They win the game one. They have a chance to win this second game, and they got off to such a great start in the first period. They outshot them. Halfway through the game, they were out-chancing them, and you just feel like they let one get away, and it was just a simple little mistake by a line that wasn't going. Considering some of the way some of the guys play, Holloway had a great game. Janmark, that fourth line with Connor Brown, he chipped in a goal 44 seconds after the Dallas crowd got into it. So when you evaluate it, it just seems like a missed opportunity for the Oilers.
Not their only mistake. Look, they were pressing in the last 5 minutes, and I think we all fully expected them to press more when they got to a 6-on-5 situation. But did they botch the pulling of the goalie there?
Yeah, I feel like it was botched. And communication is so important at the end of a game when you're about to pull your goalie. And when you look at the Edmonton Oilers, there was a whistle with 2:53. You got to let everybody know, hey, you're on the ice. We're not going to have McDavid, Draisaitl on the ice just yet. But the goalie may be pulled at some point. And when Evander Kane went up the ice with 2:15, Stuart Skinner is leaving the net. He's saying, okay, let's go. He's being waved from the bench. But look at Nurse and Holloway turning back. There's no pressure. And when Evan Bouchard has a chance to block this long shot by Lindell over here, he's not in the lane. Like, he had no idea that Stuart Skinner was getting pulled. Look at Bouchard. He's moving out of the way thinking, oh, this is going to be chipped because it can't be ice, so I'm going to get the puck, will go up the ice. So for me, it looks like the Edmonton Oilers didn't communicate well enough to everybody. Hey, we may pull the goalie early, and two, when the goalie gets pulled, we have to make sure we don't give him a freebie going to the net. So it happens a lot in the NHL that sometimes you look at it and you say, why did coaches pull the goalie at that point, and the communication's not there? Definitely was not there for the Oilers at the end of the game.
Well, I was yelling that when that happened because I didn't understand it. Your top players weren't even on the ice. There's 2 minutes left in the game. It's a one-goal hockey game. There wasn't any need to pull the goalie. Nobody on the ice that was on the ice knew he was even out. So we've given Kris Knoblauch a ton of credit. He's done a tremendous job with this team. Even throughout the playoffs, he's made some great decisions. I don't understand that decision, and it's one decision that clearly didn't work out well for them.
Let's get some reaction, beginning with the Oilers captain, Connor McDavid.
Carried a lot in the first period there, Connor, but it seemed to shift after that. What did you maybe see that changed in the second or after that first?
I thought it was close all game long, really. I thought we had a good start. Great response there by Brownie and his whole line. I thought it was tight.
We look like a team that's really good at getting sticks in the lane and getting those cross-crease passes. How are you seeing that? They look like they have some pretty good mobile defensemen that can really get in those lanes for you guys.
Yeah, well, they're a good team and they defend well. They've been doing a good job of getting in lanes, passing lanes, shooting lanes. Two good teams, like I said, they defend well.
Connor, why do you think it's been so difficult to get more power plays, to draw more penalties from them in this series so far?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question.
Overall, you look at this, you get the split going home. I guess how do you guys feel about that? I know it's upsetting to lose this game, but how do you feel about getting this game?
I guess that's a positive. Never like to lose. We had a big opportunity here tonight, and we didn't capitalize.
When they defend the way that they are, what are the things you just got to stick to line after line, and for you guys in particular, like the things that will get you through those tight battles?
Yeah, you got to make it difficult on them. Keep forechecking hard like we have been. keep getting and taking pucks to the net. Just keep making it hard on those D-men.
This is one of those games where it's just someone has to make a play, right? Get a break, make a play, do something out of the ordinary. Not just you, but anybody on your team.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the margins are small. It's a tight game. The difference is a little tip in front, and that's the difference.
At even strength, you guys are rolling 4 lines through the game. Everybody's in here. It seems really tight. I think everybody's getting used, though. The depth is there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot's been made about their depth and how deep of a team they are, but we're a deep team too, and we can roll 4 lines with anyone, and yeah.
Here is Oilers head coach Kris Knoblauch.
Hey, Kris. Connor in there said he thought it was kind of an opportunity lost with where you guys were playing, the way you guys went into that third period. How did you kind of feel about that game?
Anytime that you play fairly well and have your opportunity to score and, you don't. I thought it would have been nice to come out here 2-0, but, obviously Dallas has a lot to say about that. I thought the story tonight was this play of the 2 goaltenders. We only got 1 goal, but the chances we had and the chances they had, could have been a very high-scoring game. But, I think we could have came out here with 2 games, but obviously it's just 1.
You need more out of that first period after dominating on the shot clock.
Well, more is in more goals. Yeah, that would have been nice. Would have set us up easier to go on from there. But they're going to make their plays, and we can't dictate the entire story. But I thought our start was really good.
Center right, Ryan Rishaug.
Kris, what did you see on the goalie pull there? The timing of it, or just it ended up back down in your end, obviously, real quick. Was there something disjointed there a little bit, or?
A couple things, but obviously it's always difficult at the end of the game when to pull the goalie, and you want to get your best players out there and have it set up. But you also don't want to have too much time pass by without getting them out there. We probably would have liked to wait just a little bit longer. I see that we've got possession of the puck on the entry. And right away they change it. And I think we probably would like to just wait just a little bit longer.
Center left, Ryan Clark.
Kris, with that third period, what was it that you think that they did, or maybe you guys didn't do, that A, resulted in you having as few shots as you did, and B, it seems like you guys struggled to maybe get settled at times. Why do you think that was?
I'm not sure. Maybe they just elevated their game. I thought we had some opportunities, especially late. I know Eki rang one off the stick, and there's a couple block shots. I don't know. We might not have had as many shots as we had in the first period, but for a tight checking third period where they're protecting the lead, we did have some opportunities.
It's interesting what he said about the goalie pull, that we would have liked to wait a little longer, but he's the one that made the signal, so you wonder if there was a miscommunication.
There has to have been.
Yeah. Well, you know what, coaches always say that, but sometimes you don't pull, and then all of a sudden you only have 30 seconds left, right? Because you don't get the puck.
And you get asked, why didn't you pull the goalie?
He probably wanted to wait until about 1:45, but when he saw that Kane had the puck and was rushing up the ice, he's thinking, well, this is our opportunity. We'll be in the offensive zone. So, but yeah, ultimately, most goalies will wait for the head coach to wave them, and usually it's under 2 minutes. But we've seen coaches being aggressive and go 2:30, even 2:45 when they feel the time is right.
But that answer sounded like there was a miscommunication.
Big time.
He might have had the hand up, but is looking at Kane carrying the puck in, and he might have given a little, like, almost a hand wave, and Skinner
He's trying to give him the Heisman, but it was misinterpreted.
Give the guy the Heisman, but he's already pot committed. And Kane turns the puck over, and Nurse turns.
I've done it. I know you probably have done it, but you're like, you know what? I'm going. I want to go.
You guys as the goalies, you also have to watch the play, too. If you don't see full possession in the offensive zone, coach is calling you or not, you got to say to yourself, I'm not going. We don't have full possession there, which probably could have been something that could have been done there, too. I think at the end of the day, it was a terrible decision.
No guarantee they would have scored on Jake Oettinger, who had a terrific night. And the Oilers seemed to have a determined game plan to do whatever they could to get in front of him, maybe make some contact. Didn't seem to rattle him at all, though, did it?
Well, he's 6'5", and he covers a lot of the net. He's a terrific goaltender, one of the top goaltenders in the National Hockey League. So the scouting report is get in the eyes, get to the top of the crease, force him to stay in the net so that he can't fight for pucks. So there was a lot of crashing the crease, maybe chipping away at him. Now, there was some bobbled pucks as well. Now, Holloway here just goes hard to the net. This is a throwback to Glenn Anderson back in the late 80s and early 90s. But there was a lot of traffic around Oettinger. That is the scouting report, so why not get to him? Try and make life difficult. Every hit is an investment, and you know what? On the goaltender, if you can get a little shot in on him or at least get into his eyes and frustrate him, then you can find the back of the net.
Let's hear from Jake Oettinger, who's at the podium with Mason Marchment.
Jake, we'll start with you. A performance like this where you're busy early, often, and frequent, how hard or easy is it for you to not only stay in rhythm, but know, like, hey, you're a big part of why this game is level before your team wins?
Yeah, I think I've said multiple times, like, you'd rather be getting work than, you know, just sitting there and then all of a sudden you get 2-on-1s or breakaways and stuff. Sometimes those are, you know, even harder. The games you get 16 shots and 16 chances compared to, you know, 40 shots. So you can never pick, obviously, what type of workload you're going to get. But, I mean, yeah, just staying in it and feeling good. And, yeah, sometimes those are even easier than the ones with not a lot of work.
We'll go front right to Taylor.
Mason, you guys talk a lot about Jamie Benn and his leadership in the room, but how important was it for him to come out in the start of that second period with that shift he had and kind of reset the tone for you guys after that first period?
Yeah, it's you know, he's our leader, right? So you know, when he sets that kind of pace for us, you know, everyone wants to step over the ice and, you know, follow that. So you know, he's an unbelievable leader, unbelievable person. So he's easy to follow.
Front left, Josh.
Mason, just following up on that, what was the difference for your group apart from Jamie's shift there in the second period? They carried the play a lot in the first, and you guys really pushed back.
Yeah, I just don't think we were good enough in the first, and you know, Jakey stood on his head and made some massive saves and allowed us to kind of get our feet wet maybe after the first period. And you know, I thought after that we kind of you know, took over and started playing our game, playing low, getting pucks in, and you know, I thought for the rest of the game we did a great job.
Fourth row on the right. Oh, sorry. Do you have another question?
You know, there's a couple things said, but you know, I think everyone in there knew that, you know, we had to be better.
Center right.
Hey Mason, you thought you had a game winner in Colorado. How did it feel to get this one tonight?
Yeah, it feels good. You know, there's not many better feelings than scoring in the playoff game. So you know, we'll take that one and you know, forget about it and move on to the next one, right? So we got a big game coming up, so worry about that.
Talk time and time again about how you bounce back from these playoff losses. How does that continue to build for you?
Yeah, I think as a whole, I think that's what playoffs is all about, and it's not always going to go your way every night. And you know, it's just about not letting it be 2 nights in a row. And you know, everyone's got to respond, not just me. And you know, I think it's, you know, it's not just me that's responded. It's the group in front of me and the guys. And you know, it's just the leadership from the top down that kind of starts that and knows how to bounce back after a loss in the playoffs.
Dallas head coach Pete DeBoer.
Hey, Pete, what was the difference between the first period and the second and third?
You know, I think the first period, for whatever reason, we were tentative. You know, we had talked about playing with a Game 7 mindset, and I think our intentions were in the right place, but, you know, we looked like we were just, you know, we were waiting for something to happen, and I thought we kind of regrouped at the end of the first and you know, decided to get to our game, and I thought I loved the second and third. I thought we were excellent.
We'll go front right to Taylor.
Hi,
Taylor.
you talk a lot throughout the year about how Jamie Benn is the leader of this team in the locker room. He came out and had that shift early in the second. Him, Logan, Wyatt,
Yeah.
lots of cycle time in the ozone. How important was it, or what kind of message did that send to the rest of your group as a kind of tone reset for you?
Yeah, he's led the way, all year, and particularly in the playoffs. I think he's found another level for us. He's been great, and those two kids energize him, and he's been a beast out there every series we've been in. And he's changed the momentum of, each of the series in different ways. A couple huge hits in the Vegas series. I think in the Colorado series, it was a huge goal here or a big play, big block. And then tonight, just getting that line going and getting some ozone time, because we had spent the entire first period, I felt, in our own end. So, that was kind of setting the tone for the other forward lines. Like, this is how we need to play.
Center left, Ryan.
You just talked. Hey, Pete, you just talked about how you liked the second and the third.
Yeah.
What do you think it was specifically about the third where you were able to limit them to not only 5 shots, but they never could really look settled, especially in the final 2 minutes when, for a little bit, they had a 6-on-4?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously getting the lead, it was critical. I mean, that allows you to stay above them and manage the puck and not try and push outside your comfort zone trying to score, and I think, since I guess it would have been game 1 against Colorado when we blew the 3-0 lead, I think we've been kind of really locked in those situations. We've done a really good job.
I think the conclusion you reach from the first 2 games is this is going to be a long, really good series. You have the 3rd and 4th highest scoring teams in the league this season, and we have a 3-2 overtime game and essentially a 2-1 game with an empty net goal. The other factor, the Oilers only get 1 power play again in this one, and there's really a massive difference between the start of the playoffs, where they were just couldn't be stopped, basically 46.6% in the first 9 games against LA and Vancouver. The last 5 now, just 1 for 13 at 7.7%. They have to fix that for game 3 and 4 in Edmonton.